While driving to San Diego, Cal and his sister Becky talk about how they're run away from home because Becky is 6 months pregnancy and their parents rejected. Cal pulls over near a church to let Becky throw up because she is suddenly feeling sick and questioning their choice. Before they leave, Becky says she hears a boy calling for help in the tall grass. When Cal parks the car by the church, his siblings discuss it and find out that a boy has been trapped in the grass for days. Moments later, a book appears on the side of the road, and the sound of a woman's voice can be heard in the grass telling the boy to stop shouting. The boy is probably close to the road, so Cal decides to go help him in the grass. Along with trying to call 911, Becky follows him, but as she goes deeper, she loses signal. Becky realized she lost Cal in the grass when she puts down her phone. In an effort to find her brother, she starts talking loudly and suggests that they go back to the car because something doesn't seem right. They need to get back together first, so Becky loudly repeats an old bad rhymes. This confuses Cal, because her voice starts out coming from his right and then from his left. They then decide to jump in order to find each other. They can see each other on the first jump, but by the second jump, they are much farther away, even though they didn't walk. Cal runs towards Becky in a panic after she falls in the mud after the jump. Cal is the one who falls into the mud this time. He is shocked to find Freddy, the dog, already dead and covered in flies, which means he's been there for a while. The siblings are stuck in the grass field for hours because they can't find each other or the way out. As the sun goes down, they finally accept that they are stuck there. Becky tries to call her brother again, but she's too tired, so she waits for Cal to find her first. Then out of nowhere, a scary figure appears in the grass. It turns out to be a man named Ross, who offers to help her get out of the field. Despite having found a way out, he hasn't left yet because he needs to find his wife and son, whose voices the siblings heard early on. Although Becky is suspicious of him, she has no choice but to let him help her find Cal. After some more time, Cal keeps calling for Becky but can't get through. He is feeling down when all of a sudden, Tobin, the boy who had been calling for help earlier, walks up to him. He tells Cal that it's easier to find things after they've died to comfort him. Cal, who is scared, asks Tobin if he was the one who led them into the field. Tobin replies that he and his family went in because they heard a man calling for help too and he has no idea how long they've been here. Tobin tells Cal that his sister Becky is going to die soon and Cal asks how the boy knows this. Tobin says that the rock explained him the truth. People say that the rock teaches you how to hear the grass, which is how you discover about things. Then Tobin starts showing Cal the way to Becky. Ross and Becky talk about her baby at the same time, and Ross thinks that the baby's father isn't with her. Later, Becky finds medicine bottles and scissors on the ground while they are walking. She doesn't know how they got there. Ross is no longer there when she looks again. She starts calling for him but can't find him, so she calls Cal instead. While she looks around for clues, something grabs her and throws her to the ground. Now we're back with Tobin. He leads Cal to a small area with no grass and a strange big rock in the middle of it. Tobin tells Cal to touch it, but as Cal gets closer, he hears what sound like tribal chants. When Becky's screaming just before Cal touches it, he ignores Tobin's advice to stay out of there and rushes in the direction of her voice. Out of the blue, the day changes to a clear one, showing a truck stopping at a gas station on the same road as the church. Travis, Becky's ex-boyfriend, has come to find the siblings. When Travis gets to the train station, he doesn't find anything. He keeps going and finds Becky and Cal's car parked by the church. It looks like the car has been there for weeks because he can see bugs and dust inside it. Travis starts to look for them and call their names, but no one answers. He then goes into the church, but it's also empty. A book is on the ground and when he picks it up, Becky's name is on it. Travis thinks the siblings went into the grass field, so he does too. He folds the grass and follows the sun to figure out how to get back. The grass just grows taller every time he takes a step, which can be a bad thing. After taking a few steps, Travis realizes that the sun is no longer in the right place, but he keeps walking until it gets dark. He stops to lie down on the ground and look at Becky's picture because he's tired. All of a sudden, Tobin appears out of nowhere, scaring Travis. While laughter and whispers can be heard in the tall grass, Tobin tells Travis that he knows his name and is looking for Becky. He offers to take Travis to Becky. Travis does not think twice about following him. He is very angry when he finds Becky's dead body in the middle of the field. Travis holds his sobbing. Tobin explains that grass just makes dead things easier to find. Tobin is not there when Travis looks up. When Travis wakes up the next morning, Becky's body is right next to him. While moving again, he takes up a necklace from her body and starts to call for help. But then he hears someone. Tobin responds, and Travis calls him again so the boy can locate him. While Tobin, who shows up, looks clean and healthy, he is with his mum Natalie, Dad Ross, and dog Freddy. This indicates that the grass is entangled in an infinite loop. Freddy runs into the field out of the blue, and Tobin follows him anyway, even though Natalie told him not to. Travis then realizes that Tobin has gotten out of the field. He tries to tell Tobin not to go back inside, but it's too late. The boy is on his way to get his family. Natalie hears Tobin close by and becomes separated from the others to find him. When it gets dark, Ross is looking for his family by himself and finds the strange rock. Tobin is yelling for help in the morning, while Becky and Cal are back outside with the car. That being said, Travis is also in the field this time. He calls Becky's name as soon as he recognizes her voice, and both siblings react with surprise. Travis tells them he came to find them, but Becky doesn't believe him. At that moment, they hear Tobin's voice reading Becky's rhyme, and Travis follows it to find the boy. When Becky does the same thing, she meets Travis again, which makes the situation a bit odd. Soon after, Cal shows up, and it's clear that he doesn't like having Travis there. Suddenly, the group finds Freddy's dead body. To make things even more confusing, Travis tells the siblings that they haven't been seen in 2 months, but they don't believe him because it seems like they just left 2 days ago. Becky suddenly thinks that someone is watching them and tells them they need to leave. Travis picks up Tobin and helps him find a way out. Luckily, he sees a building off in the distance, and they begin to walk towards it. Travis didn't tell anyone about them, which is bad for Cal because he hopes someone will come look for them. Becky is having stomach pain at that moment, which makes Travis ask about the baby. Becky tells him it's a girl and lets him touch the belly to feel this little baby move. Suddenly, the phone rings, and they are shocked to hear a voice that sounds like Becky. She is crying and begs them not to let Cal hurt Travis because they will keep making the same mistake. The group doesn't believe any of it, so they keep moving. They don't know that someone is watching them through the grass. After taking a few steps, Becky trips in the mud. As she falls, she has scary visions of a baby, tall grass, and strange people coming towards her, which make her pass out. Before Cal and Travis could get to her, Ross walked up and said he could help her too. When Travis lifts Tobin again and tells him about the building they saw, all he can see is grass. In a strange way, Ross says that's how things work in there. The people in the group keep walking until they get back to the rock. Once more, they see that the rock is carved all over. Ross knows that this means something more, and he explains it as he touches it. Ross pushes Cal to touch the rock as well, claiming he will also receive knowledge, but everyone feels him quite creepy. Before that can happen, Natalie stops him by emerging from the grass and telling her own husband to avoid them. She tells the others that Ross is lying and then says that she saw Ross and Becky together before, but Becky wasn't alive and Ross tried to hurt Natalie. Ross says this is not true, and while they argue, Becky sees the visions again. This time, she also sees Ross in the grass, looking very strange. Feeling scared, Becky tells Travis and Cal to leave. Even though they make an effort to persuade Natalie and Tobin to go with them, Ross persists in trying to get them to come to the rock. Travis breaks it, starting a disagreement that quickly turns into a brawl. Cal is asked to assist Travis by Becky as the men trade blows, but Cal declines. Ross keeps telling Travis that he needs to touch the rock while they are fighting, and in the end he beats Travis to win. Then Ross attacks Natalie, showing that he has completely lost it when he uses his bare hands to smash her head. After running away from Ross, the rest of the group finds Freddy and starts to follow him until they get to an empty building. When Travis and Cal get inside, they start arguing because they think the other person is to blame for the mess. Cal thinks Travis left Becky because he wanted Becky to have an abortion. Travis responds by saying Cal has forbidden feelings for his sister, which makes Cal punch Travis and start fighting. Ross catches up at that point and attempts to smash the door. The group heads straight up the steps to the roof and checks the surroundings, spotting the church across the field. They try to come up with another plan because they know they will have to walk through the grass to get there. Travis looks over and finds Freddy running by, but the dog vanishes as soon as he steps into the grass. This leaves them a perception that there is a gap in the loop that could let them escape. In an effort to find more clues, Travis stands on the edge of the roof to get a better look at the pitch, which makes him slip. When Cal realizes, he does nothing to keep Travis from falling to the ground. Tobin sees everything, and when Cal sees the boy, he tries to explain. But right then, Ross starts to get closer. The group runs away again, but Becky stops and asks where Travis is. She won't leave without him. When Cal doesn't answer, Becky starts to think that he may have done something to Travis, so she leaves her brother. When Cal tries to follow her, Ross catches him out of the blue and tells him the truth about what happened with Travis. When Cal tries to get away, Ross won't let him. He holds him down while he fights for his life. A lot of bodies show up in the field of grass at that moment. Travis awakens and goes looking for Becky once more. Although she answers when he yells her name, they are unable to see each other. They give up and lie down in the grass to talk about her child again. Travis tells Becky that he supports her choice to keep the baby. However, Becky admits that she wasn't going to keep the child. That's why they were going to San Diego. A family there wanted the child. Distressed, Travis promises to figure something out. Ross then appears out of nowhere and attacks Becky. During the fight, Becky grabs the scissors she found on the ground, but Ross quickly takes them away from her. After putting her on the ground, he plans to harm her, but Becky takes the chance to reach for the scissors again and stab Ross in the eye. As it starts to rain, Becky runs as fast as she can. She gets scared when she sees dozens of people coming at her from all sides. She is pulled into the grass by these strangers. A short time later, Becky is lying in the mud in front of the rock. She takes out her phone and calls him. It's the same call they heard earlier, telling him not to hurt Travis. The grass people suddenly appear and surround Becky, who is screaming in pain because her body has chosen to give birth. Once more the visions appear, and this birth matches with the rock drawings. When Becky pushes hard, she hears the baby crying but can't see her. The ground starts to shake, and a huge ditch forms between the rock and her. The edge is where Becky stands and looks inside. She sees a lot of people trying to get out by holding on to the branches of an old tree. Becky screams and moves back, but then she gets too tired and passes out. After a short time, she wakes up and asks about the baby. Surprisingly, Cal answers while he calms her down and gives her water. He also holds a baby up and shows it to her, which makes Becky feel better. Cal starts to feed her as she closes her eyes again, and Becky eats everything because she is so hungry. Cal claims it's just grass and seeds, but Becky finds a strange taste and goes into a panic when she learns that Cal is really Ross and that she is eating human flesh. Travis keeps looking for Becky even though he is badly hurt. When Becky asks Travis about the baby, he finds her lying alone on the ground. He touches her belly and realizes the baby is no longer there. He starts to cry, and Tobin comes back to tell him that Ross killed everyone. Ross will never stop, he adds, and he will kill them repeatedly. Tobin starts to cry out of fear, so Travis hugs him and tells him he won't let anyone hurt him. Travis then yells at Ross and asks him if he wants to kill him. Ross jumps out of the grass right away and attacks Travis, trying to kill him even though Tobin tells him to stop. Ross uses a bone to hurt Travis and makes him fall before going after his son. Ross grabs Tobin as he tries to run away and tries to make him touch the rock. Then Becky stands up and hits Ross in the back, which makes him drop Tobin as Becky falls again. At that moment, Travis also gets up and attacks Ross. He hits him in the head into the rock and ties some grass around his neck to kill him. Travis then holds Becky while he cries. Tobin warns Travis that he won't be able to leave if he touches the rock, but Travis doesn't know what else to do. Travis doesn't care about him and touches it anyway. There is a sudden flash of red light that spreads across the field, almost as if it were cleaning the area. Tobin is scared because Travis looks creepy again, just like Ross used to. Travis asks the boy to come with him as he stops him from running away. Ross wasn't lying, the rock did tell Travis about the grass field. He grabs Tobin near the entrance and tells him to tell Becky and Cal not to go back into the field. Hopefully, this will break the loop. He then gives him Becky's necklace and throws Tobin out of the field. Tobin shows up in the attic of the church in the blink of an eye. He walks outside and opens the door. Becky and Cal's cars are already parked on the road. Someone was calling for help, so they were about to go into the field. But Tobin ran up and stopped them. It seems strange because Tobin's own voice can also be heard coming from the grass and Cal starts to walk towards it. Tobin keeps pleading with Becky to stop him, and he shows her the necklace Travis gave him to back up his story. Becky is shocked when she sees how similar it is to her own necklace. When Tobin says Travis's name, Becky finally stops her brother. After that, Becky talks Cal into leaving, and they take Tobin with them in the car. Becky tells him to go back because she wants to keep the baby instead of going to San Diego. Travis lies down in the field and lets the grass cover him after hearing Becky's words and being pleased with the change. Thank you for coming, and don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video.